Okay, so here's a shot. We are looking to remove a couple of items from a short film we have finished and are working for adding effects. The cars in the background. Jedis don't have cars to worry about, so we're going to remove them. This is Mocha Pro, and in Mocha Pro, it's actually not hard to do. It just takes a little time, especially when you see over here where they are and their hands, the tree is obscuring the car and so forth onto the more towards the center of the screen where her arms are. That is often a challenge because you have to mask out pretty much everything that crosses that frame. So over here is not a problem on the trees. That's a piece of cake. So we are going to find and make sure that that's in frame. That's at the most where it's in frame. We're looking at this car right here. Going to remove that first. So we look for where it's big in frame so we can get rid of that. We want something that's easier to track. And of course, the closer it is to the screen, the better. I'm going to just take a chunk of this. Now there's two different planes here. We really don't have to worry about this because this is 28 frames and a 24 frames per second. So this is, just a little over a second of film that's occurring. Not a lot of people are going to be paying attention to exactly every spec in this. They don't know to look for a car. And so we have two planes here. If we were to do this a little more finicky, we would work on tracking different planes like this. These are the two planes. We have this grass in the foreground, and then we have the actual tree back there. We don't have to worry about that because this isn't one of those shots where this extends over into two planes. So I'm just going to track the background. There isn't that much camera shifting perspective-wise up or down, so I have to worry about tracking this bottom versus that. If we look and watch the frame, it's really just a we don't even get much here. It's a little bit. We have a little bit up and down, but by that point right there, it's already gone. So we can do minimal. I am going to do translation, scale, and rotation. We're going to bump that up to 100%. And everything else is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and track. There we go. That's pretty much all we need. It's just those few frames. Now, if you want to take a look at the object, you can take a look there to see where things would be. And for that, it's not bad. And again, that's in and out so fast, you don't have to do anything else. If you were being more finicky, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of this. You're going to just go back through here. What I'm doing here is I'm leaving enough room because I'm going to duplicate this and then shrink it and put it in there. So it's a fast way of doing things. But if I wanted to add shear and perspective on that, I could do that as well. We're going to bump that up. Sometimes, sometimes it messes with the track, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the complexity of the scene, things like that. But we'll go that far, get a glance at that. So if we take a look here, you can see there's a little less warping. I think that holds the track better, actually. So sometimes you want to do that. And again, that's if I'm being finicky and I just want to make sure it's kind of a rock solid track. That's what I do. I'm just going to call this one background, BG for short. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm going to call that remove. I'm going to just make sure everything is selected. I'm going to take the object, Option Shift, and I'm going to bring this in a bit. It has all the same tracking information as the one that I just took it from. So I'm going to shape this for just what I need. And if I run this, you'll see that it has exactly the same tracking information. Now, what I'm going to do is go to the remove module, and we're going to go to interpolate. This object is not moving separately from the background. If it were, and I was tracking that separately, then I could just hit the render and remove. It would take care of it. But because it's maintaining a static position with the background, I have to create a clean plate out of that. So I hit create a clean plate. And we've got a clean plate there. This tells me exactly that I'm on frame 20. And I'm going to just click save. Then I'm going to open up Photoshop and we're going to clean that out. We take that one frame, and this is going to be the reference frame that Mocha uses to remove. Some people like the heal tool, spot heal or healing brush tool. It is a tree line that's kind of messy. The best thing to do is pull yourself back out. Take a look at your work, see how it looks in reference to the rest of it around it. And remember, you've only got so many frames here, so how important is it for you to spend time on making that perfect? There are perfectionists out there, and I totally understand that, and I applaud that. But perfectionism versus the amount of time you have for a job. So do you want it good or do you want it fast? That's always the formula. So we've taken that out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit save and go back into Mocha. And I'm going to go use clean plate exclusively. So we're at the first frame here. And what it's going to do when I hit the render is it takes that right out. But not only does it take it right out, if I move it forward, it takes it out in all of the shots. Just like that. Because this is complex up here, I'm separating these into two jobs. So all I'm going to do is export this rendered clip. And I render it out as ProRes 444. I click OK and render it out. Then I open that back up in Mocha. This one's a little more complex. So like I said, the car is evident from this shot, this frame, all the way through to here. You can see a little bit of blue speck. So we're going 27 frames that it's in. And we're going to go here. That's where I'm probably going to generate the clean plate off of. It's around 17. And I'm going to show you what I have to do here. So where her hand and the lightsabers cross the screen, where her arm comes through, where the tree is in the way, because the tree itself, because of how the camera is moving around, there's actually a shift in perspective from the position of where the car is to where the tree is, and that will have to be masked out as well. Her hand, all those nice fingers. Oh. So, and her hair, and we get back to there. So that's what's going on. And I'll speed through this so that you can see all of the elements put together. No, that looks good. Whew. Okay, so we go back out. Now I'm going to look at where the car is, most of the car, and that's clean right there. Got to track this. I'm going to use most of this, and here we are going to move this to the bottom. We're going to call this background. And at this point, let's see what we got. I can see it slipping a tad. But you know what? I'm going to try for it. I'm going to just increase this. So I have that as the main. If I wanted to, I can put this on, and I would say probably not. That might... that's going to be a problem. But you know what? I'm going to give it a try. I always just can create a new track off of that. That's not a problem. So we're going to go back to where I had initially put this. I'm just going to duplicate and make this my remove. And as a remove, I'm going to just shrink this and bring this in. Because it's a remove, I only want what's I've accounted for as far as the car itself. So this is where you get feathering and so forth. You just click set, and what it does is it insets that a certain number so that you get a little bit of a finesse where it blends from one to the next. And we're going to take that as our remove, and we're going to go to the remove panel. You'll see it just turns on the remove itself. Again, everything else above this is going to be ignored. I'm going to create make sure this is on interpolate, because I want to make sure there are lighting changes that go on here. I'm going to create my clean plate. This is at 19. Save it, open it up in Photoshop. And then I'm going to get rid of the car. That's good. And then we save it and shift back to Mocha. And the big test. So interpolate, use clean plates exclusively, and boom. Going to move forward through the shot, on to that end, and backwards through the shot. Bam. So this is something, as you can see, with those perspectives, because it wasn't tracked 100%, you can see there is slight movement in there. It's really slight. I mean, you have to look for it. But again, the action is occurring here. People aren't looking for this. They don't know that there was a car there. They don't know that there was a car back here. And so this is something that's done quickly. And yeah, you can see where the movement of this here is not. And that's because of the track. The track wasn't as stable as it could have been. Okay, pixel peeping, let's get that over with. Get back to here. This will be obscured by the lightsaber flash. That I don't have a problem with. Okay, we're going to go and export rendered clip. And I'm going to just save this and quit because I don't need, but I can always come back to it because it will save everything I've done here as far as the rotos. But that's what it takes. It takes all of that to get that clean plate. If you have any questions, please leave comments below and I will try to address them. And if you like this, please hit thumbs up and share. Thank you.